Hi, you're right. This is just a quick video to go with your home learning task for this week. So this week you're learning all about ergonomics. So obviously you're going to be asking, what is ergonomics? It might be something that you've heard before, or maybe it's something that you've never heard before. Ergonomics, really simply defined, is how an object or a product works with the human body, how it fits with the human body. And there's examples of this that we have every single day. The first one that I'd like us to look at as a really good example, something you all have and you all experience, is your phone. Phones are a really good example of an ergonomic product because they're designed to fit with our bodies in a really specific way. They are designed mainly to be used with one hand. It's the right size and it's the right shape for exactly that. It fits exactly the palm of my hand. I don't have to use two hands to hold it. I can press, for example, on an iPhone, I can press the home button really easily. I can unlock it with one hand and one thumb. The noise buttons, so the volume at the top, really easily maneuverable with one thumb. I don't have to move too much, it's not too difficult. Lock screen button, again, index finger. I can do it all like that. And it's designed to do that. It's designed to work just simply with one hand without any extra strain, and that's what ergonomics is. This product is ergonomic because it fits with my body. Another example, something that you'll have kind of around the house, is something like this, these spray bottles. These are really ergonomic. If we look at this example, this is like a fabric freshener. We have these grooves here, and those are designed to just give it a little bit more texture and a bit more grip. Obviously, we know things that are smooth are quite hard to hold sometimes, a bit slippery, so putting some grooves in just makes it easier to grip. It's obviously designed so that my hand can fit around it, I can grab it. Even the top shape here is designed so that it can fit between my thumb and the rest of my fingers. It's designed and moulded for that exact purpose. It fits with my hand, so in that sense, it's a really ergonomic product. Obviously the grip here, where you actually spray it, has two little grooves in it, which is designed for my fingers to fit exactly there. And there we go, easy to use. It's just the right kind of pressure so that anyone can squeeze it. That's a very ergonomic product. So your task is obviously to look around your kitchen specifically for two items, one that is very ergonomic and something that isn't very ergonomic. The thing that isn't, or if you'd like to come up with your own idea, I'd like you to design something for your kitchen that is ergonomic. And like I said, it can be the thing that you picked that isn't very ergonomic. You can take that idea and change it and make it slightly better, or you can just come up with something completely of your own invention. So I've done the same thing, and I'm going to talk through what I found. So I went into my kitchen and I had a look at two objects that I think aren't, one thing that is very ergonomic and something that isn't very ergonomic. The thing that I didn't like was my cheese grater, and I'm going to tell you why. So cheese grater, if we look at it, it's all metal, so it's a steel cheese grater. We've got a metal handle. Now the first thing I didn't like, the thing I don't think is very ergonomic, is it's not wide enough to get my whole hand in. I'm a big guy, I've got big hands, and it's quite uncomfortable for me to hold all my fingers in there. The other thing is when I'm grating cheese, I'm holding my wrist at quite an awkward angle. It's not a very, if I try and hold it like that, my arm's at a weird angle, it's not a very easy thing to hold, and I don't really like that. I don't think that's particularly ergonomic. The handle itself, it's got quite thin edges on it, and that can be quite uncomfortable. It's not the nicest, softest thing to hold. I also think sometimes, with the way that it works, the holes are at an angle to the side, so when I'm pushing sort of away from myself, and it's not the most stable thing ever. And the other thing is, linked to ergonomics, kind of ease of use, it's got quite a wide base, and if I'm trying to say I'm making something like a lasagna, and I want to put some cheese on it at the end, and I'm grating, and because it's got such a wide base, the cheese kind of goes everywhere, and it's quite a difficult thing to control. So this is my non-ergonomic product. This is the thing for my kitchen I don't like, and actually for my task, I decided to show you guys, I'm going to redesign this, but it could be something completely, your own design, your own invention. Now the thing that I do like, the thing in my kitchen I think is very ergonomic, is my tin opener. And there's several reasons why I really like this product, as an ergonomic product. First of all, it's really light. You get some tin openers that are really heavy. This isn't like that. It's plastic. It's obviously got metal parts where it needs to cut the tin open, but it's nice and light. It's easy to handle. It's quite small. It's quite an easy thing for me to hold, get out of the kitchen drawer. Doesn't take up a lot of space. In terms of kind of the way it works with my body, the way that it works with my hands when I'm actually using it, first of all, it's really, really light to open. It's not a stiff mechanism. It slides easily, so it's not very much hassle. We've got a kind of a ridge around the outside, And that just helps me grip it because I've got somewhere to put my hands. It means that the rest of the plastic can be smooth, but I've still got an easy way of gripping and holding it. And I like the way that the handle here has actually been made. It's got a nice dimple in it, which allows me to get my thumb or my finger in, and it's quite wide, which gives me a lot more force to be able to turn it. So that's my product that I think is really ergonomic, in contrast to my cheese grater, which I really don't like. Now, to do this, obviously I had a couple of sketches, I drew some ideas, I looked online, maybe see what other options are out there, and this is what I came up with. So this is my cheese grater redesign. So what I've done, as you can see, is I've put the handle at an angle, so I'm not pushing directly down, I'm pushing from the side, and the grating part is here, so I'm kind of grating opposite to the handle, so pressure-wise, I'm pushing right down on it. I left it all clear so you could kind of see inside at what everything's going on, what's happening in there, and I gave it just a little bit of nice colour just to make it look a bit more attractive, because I think maybe sometimes the plain sort of silver colour can be a bit boring. Now, I didn't just come up with this sort of out of nowhere. As I said, I did some research. I looked online, I looked at some other examples of different cheese graters and see if there's any other fancy ones I might be able to copy a little bit. The other thing I looked at was my measuring jug. I really like the way that the handle works on this. It's got a slight indent in the top so that I can get my fingers in there and I can hold it with my thumb. And I just like the angle. I just kind of, looking through my cupboards, I picked up on the fact that actually this is similar to the way that I would rather hold my cheese grater. So I kind of used that as a little bit of extra inspiration. So I've done my sketch, and obviously now I'm coming up with a prototype, which is what you guys are going to do. Prototypes are so important because from a page we can't necessarily gather whether that product's going to work or not. We need to find a way of doing it practically. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a really small prototype. Now, I know some of you guys at home might be thinking, well, how do I do that? I don't have any materials. But you have loads of materials you might not realise, especially in your recycling bin. So my prototype I have made with only milk bottles, so an empty milk bottle that we just finished, and some cardboard and sellotape. So to make this, literally all I used was scissors, sellotape, cardboard and a plastic bottle. And here is my prototype. So I know it looks a bit funny, obviously I've kind of cobbled it together with what I had. It doesn't look exactly like the design, because part of making a prototype is you get a chance to change things as you make them. So, versus the design, there's the design, and here's my prototype. So I came up with one that's kind of similar. It's not necessarily a fully working, model. I can't grate anything on it. I kind of just used a marker pen to draw where the grating would be, because, all I need to do is show where it was. But what I can do is I can hold it. I can put it on the table. I can see that it's stable. I also made the end of the grater a little bit smaller, so that if I'd want to grate some cheese, over something, I've got a smaller area, so it's going to fall out in a really defined place, and I know exactly where it's going to go. So I put an angle on it. I've used the milk carton to actually make the handle, so I think that's pretty close to what I would do if I could really make this for real. And that way, I can look at it, I can hold it, I can see how it works. I could get something and I can actually grate it, and I can therefore use this very rough prototype to test my idea, and I can see if that idea is actually really going to work. So that's exactly what I'd like you to do. So just as I've done, you need to find one really ergonomic item, find one that is not very ergonomic, and I'd like you to create your own design and make a really rough prototype for it. Now, obviously, we're always looking for loads of really good Instagram content for the Salesian DT Instagram. So please send us as many pictures as you can of your prototypes working. Show us the really cool ideas you've come out with, and show us that they really work. Great work, guys. Enjoy, and I'll hear from you later.